This episode of Marijuana Today Daily is brought to you by the folks over at Ease, California's top one-stop website for legal marijuana delivery. Ease partners up with only the top dispensaries in their active areas, so you know you're only going to find quality products available at great prices, all delivered right to your door by one of Ease's partner dispensaries. Just open up ease.com, spelled E-A-Z-E, to see if your local part of California is allowing for legal marijuana delivery and if Ease is active there. If you're good to go on both counts and you're placing your order during legal hours, you could be just an hour or so away from taking delivery. From flowers to edibles and from concentrates to vape pens, Ease has you covered. One last time, just open up ease.com to see if you can get your order in for legal California marijuana delivery. Big thanks to everyone over at Ease for all the support. Good morning, Marijuana Nation. It's Thursday, May 17th, 2018, and you're tuned in to episode 492 of Marijuana Today Daily. I'm your host, Shay Gunther, and I'll be walking you through today's marijuana news and headlines. As always, we have a full and busy day of cannabis news in our hands, so let's jump right into it. Our top story of the day is a piece by cannabis news hound Tom Angel over at Marijuana Moment, who picked up on some news out of the U.S. Congress regarding a number of hemp-related legislative amendments recently introduced into the U.S. House of Representatives. Hemp has been in the headlines a lot in recent weeks after Republican Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell introduced a bill legalizing industrial hemp into the Senate. I reported on 3 new hemp-related House bills most recently, which were slated to go up first for consideration by the House Rules Committee, led by noted rabid prohibitionist Congressman Pete Sessions, a Republican from Texas. As Tom is now reporting, yesterday, Congressman Sessions killed the 3 hemp amendments set to be attached to the must-pass Farm Bill in a House Rules Committee meeting. Congressman Sessions did leave the door for industrial hemp open just a bit when he hinted at a possible future hemp deal with Senator McConnell. A good story to read in full. Mass Live has another story you're going to want to dive into fully with a longer form look at the early days of Massachusetts Economic Empowerment Program, which we've covered extensively here on Marijuana Today Daily. The program grants people from communities that have traditionally borne the worst effects from the government's war on marijuana special priority status that's supposed to help them get licensed with the state in an early and timely manner. As Mass Live is reporting, though, that lofty goal is running into some opposition on the ground in the form of the towns and cities that have final say over the granting of local marijuana business permits, which are needed to secure final state licensing. Those towns and cities are incentivized to extract the most money possible from wannabe cannabis entrepreneurs, so the special priority status granted to the economic empowerment applicants isn't carrying much weight in the face of lucrative operating agreements with more well-funded operations agreeing to cut towns in on profits. Yesterday, the Massachusetts Cannabis Control Commission held a public meeting on the matter and heard from a number of program applicants of the troubles they were experiencing in trying to navigate the startup of a new cannabis business. Wrapping up today's top stories, swings us down to Florida, where yesterday an important court case was held over the question of allowing Florida medical marijuana patients the right to smoke their medical cannabis. State law right now forbids the smoking of medical marijuana, instead mandating that patients have to consume it via vaping, edibles, topicals, or oils. In a lawsuit filed against the state of Florida by entrepreneur and activist John Morgan, 2 medical patients are asking the courts to order that they and other patients be allowed to smoke their medical marijuana. Patients Diana Dotson and Kathy Jordan say that smoking marijuana is the most effective way for them to consume their medicine, which they use to treat HIV and Lou Gehrig's disease, respectively. Leon County Circuit Court Judge Karen Givers wrapped up a full day of court yesterday and said she expects to issue a ruling soon, which she said she also expects to be appealed. Those are our top stories for today. It's time for Marijuana Today Daily Headlines Blitz. Before we blitz it on headlines, let's quickly thank our sponsor, Ease, California's top one-stop website for legal marijuana delivery. If you fire up ease.com, you can quickly see if your local part of the Golden State is allowing for legal marijuana delivery and if Ease is active there. But if you scroll down just a bit past that top search box, past all of their latest top sellers, you'll also find all their editorial and analytical work, which they build using customer surveys and their properly aggregated and anonymized sales data stream. If you could benefit from having a better understanding of the modern legal cannabis consumer, then you owe it to yourself to spend some time over at eaze.com, spelled E-A-Z-E. Eaze.com for all your legal California marijuana delivery needs and for all the latest legal marijuana industry insight and analysis. Thanks again to everyone over at Eaze for their support that makes today's news possible. All right, time for the Blitz. In a rich bit of irony, representatives from the Canadian beer industry are pushing for an increase in marijuana taxes for that nation's soon-to-roll-out legal adult-use sales system. Complaining of their own lagging sales and concerns that marijuana consumers would buy less beer if cannabis taxes were too low and booze taxes too high, Canadian beer lobbyists urged a Canadian legislative committee this week to recommend a higher level of taxation for legal adult use sales than is currently planned. The New England Journal of Medicine just published a study showing that marijuana-derived CBD-based pharmaceutical drug Epidiolex has been found to significantly reduce the amount of seizures experienced by epilepsy patients taking it. Epidiolex is in the process of gaining FDA approval, which its developer, UK-based GW Pharmaceutical, expects to happen sometime this year. Click over for all the clinical and medical details on this one. As always, we have all the news we cover linked to on our website at mjtodaydaily.com and on our Twitter account at mjtodaydaily. As California works to implement adult use legalization in a post-Amendment 64 landscape, one of the stickier wickets it's had to deal with is the part of the 2016 ballot measure that allows people to petition to have their past criminal marijuana crimes reduced or expunged. This storyline's popped up a bunch over recent months with a new update out of the city of San Francisco, which is tapping its local technology resources by using custom software that will automatically facilitate the many-step process of getting a person's criminal record cleaned of cannabis crimes that are now legal. The city is partnering up on this one with Code for America, a nonprofit organization that works to help governments use technology to solve problems. Keeping our newsy gaze out west for a story, we have a good headline in Leafly about a new class of California marijuana business license that allows for the operation of co-working marijuana industry workspaces. The new S-type license will allow for one physical location to be shared by any number of marijuana businesses, with the main rule being that only one business can occupy the space at a time. You can imagine that model working well for smaller craft businesses that need space like commercial kitchens on a regular basis, but not enough to justify the cost of having a full-time space. California just made this license type available last month, and so far, no S-license shops have opened up yet. Another good story to read in full, as this model is one that would work just about anywhere. Marijuana Business Daily is a well-crafted story looking at the commoditization of marijuana through the frame of the legal Canadian market. Writer Matt Lamer has queried a large number of executives from the ranks of Canada's top medical marijuana companies, including CEO Bruce Linton of Giant Canopy Growth Corporation, about what the future might hold for raw cannabis flower, which is already being driven to commodity-level prices in U.S. states like Oregon. The answer across the board seems to be branding and product differentiation. This is an industry-wide question no matter what side of the border you're on, so another one I'd open up to read in full. Another one I did open up to read in full. You should too. Legal medical marijuana industry operators in Michigan are getting nervous as a June 15th deadline approaches, by which time they're expected to be licensed by the state or to shut down. The only problem with that situation is that the Michigan state government has been overwhelmed by legal medical marijuana license applications and has so far issued exactly 0 state licenses. While it sounds like state authorities aren't planning to bust anyone's doors down on June 16th if they aren't yet licensed, things still aren't exactly clear over what would happen to any prospective license holder who does stay open, assuming their application isn't processed in time. An interesting story out of one of the nation's largest medical marijuana markets. And finally for today, Willamette Week's Kate Shepard looks at the evolving business landscape in Oregon's legal marijuana industry as smaller mom and pop shops are bought up and consolidated by larger operations with ambitious leaders at their helm. In particular, Miss Shepard writes of Chalice Farms and its founder, William Simpson, who's been on a tear pushing his company to grow through expansion and acquisition. Last year, Mr. Simpson sold Chalice Farms to Golden Leaf Holdings, a Canadian company, and is now working to grow the company's operational footprint. In a day heavy with stories you should read in full, this one is a worthy member of the list. Those are the headlines and news for the day. I'll be back with you again tomorrow morning with another information-packed episode of Marijuana Today Daily. But in the meantime, if you have any stories to share or feedback to give, zip us an email to headlines@mjtodaydaily.com. And while you're clicking around the interwebs, swing over to our Twitter account at mjtodaydaily and visit our website at mjtodaydaily.com to find links to all the news we cover. What's green and leafy and sings really well? Elvis Parsley. Thanks to our sponsor Ease and to all of our awesome patron listeners for the support that makes this show possible and these great jokes possible. To join the illustrious ranks of the patron listeners yourself, swing over to our website at mjtodaydaily.com and click on that big blue button at the top of the page that says Become a Patron. I'm your host, Shay Gunther. Thanks for tuning in and starting your day with Marijuana Today.
One take, Shay. One take.